Hey everybody, it's Tish here. Welcome back to my Facebook Live series. This is episode 6, how to make your subconscious mind your BFF. So just while I wait to see if anybody comes on, it's now 5 to 7 p.m. here in Abu Dhabi, and so that would make it 5 to 4 in the UK, and anywhere else I have no idea. So if you're going to join me, please do let me know that you're here. Type hashtag live if you're here with me now, hashtag replay if you're watching on replay, and hashtag newbie if you just come across me recently and you've just started to maybe this is the first video you've watched. I'd love to say hi to you. So for those of you who don't know me or who are unclear, just get comfy here, on what I do, I am a self-esteem and inner strength / resilience coach. So basically what I do is I help people find their inner strength and help them to raise their self-esteem, raise their value, how they feel about themselves, so that they can go on to be successful in life, be happy in life, fulfilled, and also have an awesome career if that's what they want. Because I specialise with working with women who run their own businesses, but obviously I'm not just enclosed to that group. So that's what I do. Let me know if you're here. So the subject today is going to be, as I said, how to make your subconscious mind your BFF. Before I just talk about that, it's 1st of October today, 2018, the start of a brand new month, a brand new week as well. It's Monday. So have you decided what you're going to do with this month? Have you got a vision for this month? Have you got a vision about what you want to achieve and how you're going to do it? Because if we just wish and think about what we'd like to do, but we don't actually have a really clear vision, and we don't actually have it in writing what we're going to do or what we want to achieve, then it's just a wish. It doesn't really come into fruition. So let me know what you've got planned for this month, and brand new exciting month. Now let me just turn off my notifications, because if I don't, what's going to happen is you're going to hear these all the way through. Okay, here we go. So tonight's subject, ladies and gentlemen, is, as I said, how to make your subconscious mind your BFF. And you might be thinking, oh no, this is all woo-woo stuff, Can't you just tell us, how to get on in life, or, give us some really practical tips? Well, yeah, I can do all of that. Being a coach, I can do all of that. But one of the main things that you really, really need to understand and master before you can move forward in your life is the power of your subconscious mind, and how it plays a huge part in how your life turns out, or what you're experiencing in your life. It plays an absolutely massive part of that. So if I were to ask you a question, how many of you honestly look within yourself when there's a problem outside of yourself? So if you do look within yourself, give me some hearts, and I congratulate you, because looking within yourself is definitely the way forward when there's a problem on the outside. And you may think, well, how is that? You might have been sort of conditioned to think that when there's a problem on the outside, whatever that may be, you've got to go and tackle the problem and be very logical about it, and tick lists to say, right, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And there is definitely a place for that. But when there's a problem on the outside, we do have to look within, because there is a saying, an old ancient saying, which is, as within is as without, and I'll explain that in a second. So what is your subconscious mind, and what does it do? Well, we've got two minds, if you like, that are going on, and obviously I'm talking about the workings of the brain. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm an ex-psychological practitioner. That's different from a psychologist, and I'm not a doctor in anything. But what I do know is that there's been lots of research about the mind, the subconscious mind, and there are lots of therapies around which help to reprogram the subconscious mind. And so what I'm talking about is a real thing. It's not something that I've just plucked out of the air. So we've got two minds. We've got our conscious mind and we've got our subconscious mind. And the way that I like to think about it is that my conscious mind is sort of like on the top, if you like, and my subconscious mind is underneath. That's how I like to think about it. It keeps it quite simple for me. If you're joining, guys, just say hi. Your subconscious mind is your thinking and your reasoning mind. Your mind that feels emotions, that solves problems, etc. That we take all the information into our thinking mind, and then we decide, we make decisions from our thinking mind. We decide what to do, we decide what to have for breakfast, etc. You know, we do all of those functions with the conscious mind. When we're awake with our conscious mind. When we're asleep, we dream in our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind, the one that I like to think about underneath, works constantly and quietly and underneath the conscious mind, if you like. So when we're asleep, it figures out and processes things that have happened in the past days, the past weeks, the past months, and then you may start to dream, and that's a subconscious mind working. It doesn't reason, the subconscious mind. It's not a reasoning mind. It's an obeying mind. It obeys commands, and the commands that it takes, where it takes the commands from, is your thinking mind. So whatever you think and whatever you tell your subconscious mind to do, it will obey it. And the other thing about one of the other things about the subconscious mind, there are many, too many for me to mention now, but one of the other things is that it obeys our commands, but it can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. So if we're imagining something, and we're imagining a scenario, whether that be a good scenario or a bad scenario, and we see ourselves in that scenario, then what you're doing is you're commanding your subconscious mind to help you bring that about. It doesn't know the difference between. So who you're talking to, the environment you're in, the things that you're thinking about are really, really important, because your subconscious mind takes all that information, processes it, and thinks this is what she or he wants, and so I'm going to help work to bring that about. So the subconscious mind, it's a house of infinite intelligence, and some people would say, if you're very spiritual, it's a house of divine intelligence. When you think about it, your subconscious mind gets to work as soon as you're born, because it tells you to cry when you're hungry, it tells you to cry when your nappy needs changing, it starts to tell your body when to crawl and when to try and pull yourself up and when to walk. So it does all of these things as we're getting older, because our conscious mind is still forming, but we're born with this infinite, I like to think of it as an infinite ball of intelligence. And so it's really important that we understand just how powerful the subconscious mind is. Some people would say that the subconscious mind has all of the answers that you need. All of the answers that you need are lying within the subconscious mind. However, by our negative thinking and our negative actions, we block the answers that we need. The subconscious mind heals. So when you think about it, when you cut yourself, and obviously, you know, there's an open wound and then you bleed, you know, we can dress the wound, but how often have we said, you know, isn't the body amazing the way it heals itself? Well, that healing process is governed by the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind knows that there's been damage to the skin, and it tells the body to go and heal it. So, you know, that's just completely awesome. There's an ancient saying, another ancient saying, which goes, the doctor dresses the wound, but the subconscious mind heals it. And so I think that's just so powerful and so amazing. You don't need to acquire this power. It's already inside of your mind. The secret is how to harness it, how to harness this power, and learning and understanding how it can be of benefit to you if you're struggling with confidence, if you're struggling with finding your inner strengths, if you're struggling with finding your joy in life. All of those things can be answered by your subconscious mind, but you've got to know how to be able to tap into it, to be able to release those answers and to get it working for you, to make it your BFF, your very, very, very best friend forever. So think about this for a second. Why is it that some people are constantly sick or are fruitfully healthy, if we can use that term? Why is it that sometimes people are full of confidence and faith, and sometimes other people are full of fear and doubt? And why is it that sometimes some people are wealthy and they seem to turn everything to gold that they touch? Why are some people wealthy and full of abundance and full of nice things, and they never seem to want for money? And why are some people really poor? Now, we can argue lots of cultural reasons, lots of economical reasons, lots of political reasons, but I'm going to talk from the sense of the mind and how the mind works. So we're constantly programming our own minds from the minute that we become consciously aware. If you think about it, I can't remember being consciously aware until I was probably about 4 years old. So to me, that means that maybe my subconscious was governing my life for that whole time. And once we start to become consciously aware, that's when we start to take in information from the environment around us, take information from what people are saying to us and the body language they're displaying and how people are treating us. And we take that information and then we process it in a way that instructs the subconscious mind to bring about more of those circumstances. So I'll explain it a little bit more in a second. So the subconscious mind is really, really loyal to you. That's why it's your best friend, because it's the best friend you could ever have, because it will be incredibly loyal to you from the day you're born until the day that you die. So the stories and the beliefs that you tell yourself, which then filter into the subconscious mind, are really important, because whether those stories are negative stories or those stories are positive stories, your subconscious mind will obey what you're thinking and will obey what you believe and will bring about more of those thoughts, more of those feelings and more of those circumstances, whether they're positive or negative. I hope I'm making sense here, and let me know if I'm not making sense, but I hope I'm making sense. So how you think, feel and believe things and act affects your mind, your body and your circumstances. It sounds relatively simple, doesn't it? It is relatively simple. As I said, the secret is knowing how to identify what thoughts are not serving us, what thoughts are creating more negative circumstances, what thoughts are creating more ill health, what thoughts are creating poverty. And it's not just the thoughts, it's words that we speak, it's pictures that go into the brain, so the environment we're in, the things that we're watching on social media, on YouTube, on the TV, it's everything that we feed into our brain. So if you think of the brain like a computer, the subconscious mind like a computer, what you feed into it, it outputs. So if you program a computer with certain code, it's going to output the instructions that you give it. It's exactly the same with the subconscious mind. So if you're feeding the subconscious mind with good things about how you feel about yourself, about what you want to achieve, about how you'd like your life to be, if you do that, you're programming your mind to help you acquire those things. Well, it's not an instant process. It's something that you need to do on a permanent basis. It's a working process, and even with some small changes in the way you think and things that you believe, you will begin to see changes on the outside, in your outer world. So when you start to change your inner world, you will start to see changes in your outer world as well. And that's what we call personal development as well. So I'm going to give you an analogy. This analogy is, I want you to think of your subconscious mind like a garden, and you're the gardener. So you're planting seeds of thought every single day. So every single day, with the environment you're in, the people you're speaking to, the thoughts that you're thinking as a result of everything around you and the beliefs that you have, that's you sowing seeds into the garden. And sometimes, a lot of the time, the seeds that we're sowing are we're not aware of, because the thinking is habitual thinking. So it's thinking that's so deeply ingrained that we don't even realise we're doing it. And so we're sowing these seeds constantly into the garden of the subconscious mind. Now, if you're sowing seeds which are thistle seeds, they're going to grow thistles. And if you're sowing seeds, say, of strawberries, so strawberry seeds or strawberry plants, it's going to grow beautiful red ripe strawberry fruit. And so what you sow into your subconscious mind is what you want to harvest. And I don't think for one second that there's anybody watching this who really wants to sow negative things into their mind and into their lives. You know, so it's really important to be able to identify the things that we're sowing in that soil, in that garden of our subconscious mind, that are not serving us anymore, because we may have picked things up as we've gone along in life, and these particular beliefs and these particular thought processes and behaviours, they're just not serving us because they're producing terrible outcomes for us. So the world within, as I said, produces the world without. Now, a lot of people, when they want to change themselves or their lives, or especially their lives, they tend to look outside of themselves to do that. So they think, right, what I need to do to be happier is, maybe I need to move house because then I'll be happier. Maybe you've got terrible neighbours, or you just don't like where you live, so I'll move house and that'll make me happier. Or maybe you're unhappy in your job or your business. Maybe your business is not working the way you thought it would. So you think, well, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe if I change the business and the products that I sell or the service that I sell, maybe that will make me happier. Maybe everything is all right. Or maybe you're just generally chasing money. So you think, I will definitely be happier if I have more money. I know I'll be happier because I'll be able to do what I want and buy what I want and go where I want. And these are all really common ways that we try to alter the results in our lives. We look to the outside. We try to control people and things to try and get results, when actually what we need to be doing is looking inside of us to see what we can change, what beliefs we can change about ourselves, what stories we're telling ourselves about our circumstances. Maybe it's a negative story about money we've got. Maybe we've got a poor relationship with money. Conscious mind will work to bring that about. And so it's really important to be able to look within rather than look without, and to be able to catch those negative stories. Hi, I'm back again. Sometimes the internet is terrible here, but I'm going to keep going and hopefully I can get to the end without it going off again. So apologies for that. So yeah, we need to be looking within to be able to change things without, and we need to be able to get to a point where we're ready to let go of some negative thinking, some negative beliefs that we know are not serving us. We need to get to that point to be able to recognize it and to let go. So what you repeat to yourself becomes embedded in your subconscious mind. So I don't mean repeat necessarily with your words, although that can happen, but what your narrative, what you're telling yourself in your mind, what you repeat over and over, becomes really embedded in your subconscious mind. And so things like, I can't afford it, I have no confidence, I have no inner strength. You know, just taking those three examples, if you keep telling yourself that you can't afford something, then you know, life will pretty much show you, your subconscious mind will work with you to honour that statement that you can't afford things. If you're telling yourself, because I work with people who have lost confidence or who have little confidence and self-esteem, if you keep saying to yourself, I have no confidence, then guess what? Your subconscious mind hears that and acts upon that. Because it's so loyal to you. And again, you know, if you're telling yourself you've got, you know, you're not strong enough to cope with something, you know, if you say, oh, I'm really not strong enough, or I don't think I can cope, your subconscious mind hears that instantly and then honours you because it's so loyal to you and helps you to bring about the fact that you're not strong enough to be able to cope with something. So I'm going to give you 6 steps now. I'm going to give you 6 steps to making your subconscious mind work for you in the best possible way. So step number 1 is you must have a clear vision of what it is, not necessarily that you don't want, but what you do want in your life. Because what you focus on grows, and so if you're focusing on what you don't want, you will get more of that. So you must have a clear vision of what you do want, and you must be able to look at that vision daily, whether or not you write it down in absolute detail on a sheet of paper about what it is exactly you want to change in your life and how you want to see it, or whether you create a vision board with pictures, because some people are better having the visual learners, so they're better to be able to look at pictures of exactly how they want their life to be, that you can cut out of magazines, or you know, you can create vision boards on your phone now, or your laptop, or your tablet, something you can look at every day and feed into your mind, into your subconscious mind, so it starts to get the messages of what you do want rather than what you don't want. Step number 2 is awareness, is start to become aware of the beliefs that you have that are no longer serving you well, the beliefs that you think, actually, do I need to believe that anymore? Is that really true? When you become aware of these beliefs and these negative thoughts, write them down, get them down onto paper, get them out of your head and get them down onto paper, or put them into your notes in your phone, so that you accumulate a list of all the things that you're starting to recognise that don't serve you anymore. So I'll give you an example. For me, one of the beliefs that I had for a really long time is that I couldn't trust anybody. I can't trust anybody. So therefore, what happened was, I had barriers up, and B, life kept throwing me people who I couldn't trust because I had a belief that everybody or most people who I met, I couldn't trust in one way or another. And so once I realised this was a really big stumbling block from allowing people to come into my life who I could trust, I turned my back on that belief and then started to affirm to myself that there are plenty of people in this world that I can trust. And so life threw me, and lots more people that I could trust, because I changed the belief. And so my subconscious mind began to work with me to change it, or to bring it about, should I say. So awareness of the negative things that you're saying to yourself and the negative beliefs you have that are no longer serving you, that are keep bringing you the same things, the same results over and over. Step number 3 is, once you have that awareness, once you have that vision of how you want your life to change, once you have that awareness of what's going on in your head negatively, then you need a commitment to changing. You need to have that commitment to making things differently, because without you, nothing will change. Nobody is going to do it for you. So you have to make that commitment to yourself, that promise to yourself that you're going to find ways and personally develop to help change things for yourself. Step number 4 is find the ways to change your thoughts and behaviour. Now, you can do this, there's lots of ways you can do it. You can do research on how how to reprogram your subconscious mind. You can read books, you can probably the most effective way is to hire a coach, somebody like me. It doesn't have to be me, because I don't resonate with anyone, with everyone. But you know, hiring a coach, somebody who knows what they're talking about in this section, if you like, in this area of the subconscious mind, who can help you eliminate those negative beliefs and those negative thought processes and help you identify them as well, because sometimes we don't even know we've got them. To be able to uncover them can be quite a challenge, but it can be done. And so we need number 5 is hire a coach or hire a professional to help you do that. And number 6 is be patient and be persistent. This isn't an overnight change. Sometimes we have light bulb moments where we think, oh, I've been thinking that all of my life, and you know, I really don't need that anymore because it's causing X, Y, and Z. And you know, we can have light bulb moments, but on the whole, in general, to be able to change your life on the outside by changing yourself within, it takes time and commitment and persistence and patience. So you need to be able to have those qualities or foster those qualities to be able to change things on the outside. You can absolutely change the way you feel about yourself and the way your life is going. I am testament to that. If you haven't read my book, you can get my book on Amazon. It's called Grit School, and it tells partly my story, and it also gives part recommendations of how to change your thinking and handle emotions, etc. But I can honestly tell you that if I were to look at my life 20 years ago, it was completely the opposite to what it is now. I won't go into too much detail here, but by accepting that I had to eventually change myself, and it wasn't everybody else's fault, that it was me that had to change to bring about different circumstances, having that journey of personal development has brought me to a point now where my life is thoroughly amazing, and it's getting better all the time. I still have my ups and downs. I'm only human, and life throws curveballs, but I'm better equipped now to deal with them. So take it from me that life can get better, and you can find your inner confidence, you can find your inner strength, and you can have more joy in your life. So that's it from me, ladies and gents. If you're watching, thank you so much. If you think somebody might benefit from this video, then please tag them in it, or share it onto their page or into their groups or into a group you may know that somebody might benefit from it. If you're interested in receiving one-to-one coaching from me, I do a 90-day transformational program. It's called Unleash Your Inner Lioness. It's one-to-one bespoke online coaching. If you'd like some more details about that, if you'd like to apply for a free 45-minute introductory call, then I'll put the link above this video that you can fill out that form and we can have a chat. It's been awesome talking to you guys. I shall see you next Monday with my next Facebook Live. Take care. Bye.